TRICARE for Life is not like other TRICARE programs. Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and recently one of you led me down the rabbit hole of how TRICARE for Life works, and I'll be honest, I learned a lot I didn't know, and it probably matters a lot to retirees like you. See, recently I've done a number of videos talking about the different TRICARE options, including for regular retirees and for reservists. And for all retirees, regular and reserve, when they reach age 65, they become eligible for a program called TRICARE for Life. You transition to TRICARE for Life whether you want to or not, because TRICARE for Life is not a standalone healthcare plan like TRICARE Prime or TRICARE Select or TRICARE Reserve Select. TRICARE for Life is called Medicare Wraparound Coverage. And here is the important takeaway for this video. Since you become eligible for TRICARE for Life only when you are eligible for Medicare, what happens to your dependents? Well, they're going to be fine, but the transition, it's going to be a little weird. Before we dig into dependents, I think it's important to understand what happens to you, the retiree, with respect to TRICARE for Life. Anyone who is TRICARE eligible and becomes eligible for Medicare Part A and B, regardless of your age or the situation that caused you to become eligible, will transition to TRICARE for Life. And the TRICARE website makes the point that you don't have to do anything, that enrollment in TRICARE for Life is automatic on the first day that you start to receive Medicare coverage. I mean, provided that you're paying your Medicare Part B premiums. And just so you know, your Medicare Part B premiums are based off the modified adjusted gross income on your income taxes. In 2024, those premiums ranged from about $175 for regular folks all the way up to about $600 for people making seven figures. Anyways, TRICARE for Life works a bit like TRICARE Select in that you can visit any authorized service provider. You don't have to go through a PCM. The way this works for folks living inside the U.S. is your medical service provider will typically bill Medicare first. Medicare pays its portion, and any unpaid part of the bill then gets sent to TRICARE. Then, TRICARE for Life directly pays the medical service provider for any TRICARE covered services. You shouldn't have any out-of-pocket expenses for services that are covered by both TRICARE and Medicare. Where things get tricky is when the service is only covered by one insurance provider or neither. To learn more about what each program covers, it's a good idea to check out the TRICARE for Life page at tricare.mil. Now, where things get really bonkers is when you live overseas. See, Medicare does not cover services that are provided outside of the U.S. or U.S. territories. So, even when you're just traveling overseas, TRICARE becomes your primary insurance provider, and you become responsible for TRICARE deductibles and expenses. But guess what? Even though Medicare doesn't provide any coverage overseas, you still have to be paying those Medicare Part B premiums in order to receive TRICARE for Life. Okay, so I told you all of that to tell you this. TRICARE for Life does not extend coverage to your family members. But family members who are not eligible for TRICARE, like children or a younger spouse, they are still eligible to be covered by TRICARE's other programs like Prime or Select. They can just stay on the plan that they're currently under, or they can elect to change to another plan under a qualifying life event. You see, the sponsor qualifying for Medicare, it actually counts as one of the QLEs. In fact, the good news is that if you don't have any kids, your spouse's TRICARE coverage can actually switch from a family plan to an individual plan. Now, what happens if the spouse is a couple years older than the sponsor? what happens when they qualify for Medicare, turn age 65? Well, it took digging into some frequently asked questions, but it turns out, same thing. The spouse enrolls in Medicare, automatically switches to TRICARE for life, and then the remaining family members, the sponsor and the kids, they just stay on whatever plan they're on with TRICARE. But before we wrap up, I should warn you that I have been imitating a phrase that gets used on the TRICARE.mil website that might be slightly misleading. And that is that enrollment in TRICARE for life is automatic. Technically, that's true, but it doesn't mean that enrollment in Medicare is automatic. In fact, the only reason that TRICARE for life calls itself automatic is because you're supposed to enroll in Medicare a couple of months before you turn age 65. If you don't enroll in Medicare, you won't be enrolled in TRICARE for life, so don't get caught napping on that one. You want to know something else that you should probably be thinking about while you're planning for Medicare? Social Security. In fact, one thing to be aware of is that those annual Social Security benefit estimates might overestimate the benefit that military retirees are going to receive. And if you want to understand why that's true, watch this video.